Okay, you see now I've been getting this panel here to curve to match, to blend in, so when I put a piece there it'll be all the same angle. I had to bang quite a bit here. I'm trying to still get this to twist just a little bit, because right here it has to be up and down to match right here where it goes in, and then it curves because to match this curve. So I got to put a piece in here, and then there'll be a piece along in here. But as you can see, it's starting to come in. I had to cut this because I had to twist the piece. I had to get this side to come down and that side to twist this way. And then when I got that really close, I had to put a radius in here to start to come up to line up with the top piece. It had to match it, or at least get close to it for now. And because the radius had to come in this area here, it had to become more and more of a radius, more of a bend as it went down, and then it tapered back off again. I had to bend right in this area. You can see where I marked it with some chalk. It's kind of wiped off now, but it's like a half moon here, crescent moon shape. So I had to bend this edge a little bit, and then it went down, and this I had to bend a little bit more, starting a little bit further back. And then from right about here was the most I had to go back, and then it started tapering off towards the front again. But there's too much metal. When you start to bend it this way, and it's on a curve, the metal has no place to go. You're trying to, I don't know how to explain it. You're trying to bend it this way, and it's not like a right angle bend because there's a curve to it. So because there's a curve, there's going to be a resistance. So you relieve that resistance by making a slice. Now you can get this to come, and the gap will close up because the material that starts to move that way as you're bending this way will start to fill in the gap. You may have to cut a few more places, but for now I just sliced it right there, and I got it to be not too bad. Let me move. I got the 1/4-inch rod in here is preventing this from coming in. It's not bent to the inside curve yet, but this is basically going to be, this is going to be pointing right towards this edge here for that little filler piece. But you can kind of get the idea what's happening here. It's not springing so much anymore. I did some more twisting and tapping, and I used a wooden block, the dolly, and I used an old rubber hammer quite a bit. This seems to bend the metal without stretching it. So if you stretch the metal, then you start getting into problems. You're displacing. How do I say this? Say if I'm banging here the metal with a metal hammer within this area, and I bang in the middle because there's a dent. If I use a metal hammer, I run the risk of hitting it too hard, too long, too many times, and the metal will get thinner. When the metal gets thinner, it's like pizza dough. You're rolling it out. It starts to spread out. Now, if this outside edge wasn't hammered, it's going to stay right where it is. But the middle is starting to spread. So what happens? That's how you get a bowl, because the metal has to go somewhere. It can't go out because all this metal around here is not allowing it to. So the only way it can move is by either bowing up or bowing down, and you'll start to get a bowl. And I didn't want that. So with the rubber hammer, or the hard plastic side of it, it seemed to help. I could move the metal without actually getting it to displace. So I could actually move the metal without worrying about it cupping or bowing anymore. But That's what I've got so far today. And we're I'm gonna try to get this piece in here and then I'll bend that 1/4" rod, and then I'll bring this in, and I'll tie it in up there, and then tie it in down here, and little by little start moving the pieces around and getting it to lay flat. And but it doesn't look too bad. I mean, you can start to see the basic shape is coming. I used that tape here. I taped the body line parallel with the body line to there, and I just ran it straight, so I knew where to put the body line on the hood. Unfortunately, on this side, I figured, well, I'll just re-slice it and move it later. What I should have done is just right from the get-go, like I did on this side, is get this side lined up so it's a straight line, because the body is tilted down a little bit for rake, and the hood is kind of straight, so the body line comes downhill, and then the line on the hood goes kind of horizontal. So what I want, like over here, I mean, it's not in the back, in the back there, it's not, it's got to go up a little bit, but you can see the body line comes right down, and it follows the tape line, which is good. But when you get over to this side, it comes down and does like a real, right at the cowl, the straight line goes up just a hair. So this has got to come down. I may end up, you know, well, I guess I'm just going to have to cut that piece off and drop it down so it's a straight line, and then do another filler. A lot of work. There's going to be a lot of body work on this thing. And it's not going to be perfect. There's still going to be dents and dings and all that kind of stuff. I'm not looking for a show rod, but I just want some, you know, I want to be able to look at it and be pleased at what I see. If I leave this alone, I know that this line here does not line up with the body line, it'll bug me forever. And most guys will say, hey, you know, just build a rad and just, you know, don't even leave it pieced together like that. It's not what I'm looking for. I just want, you know, I want what I want to build. You know, my brothers tell me, oh, just don't even paint it, just leave it rusty. I want it black, and I want it, you know, like all the other builders. You know, they do it the way they want it done. They do it to please themselves, not to please somebody else. Because if you build it to please somebody else, you're not going to be happy with your car, and you end up getting rid of it. That's why one of the most main criteria of this was to make sure it was comfortable. You know, I see these guys, they build these cars, and they're sitting on the floor on like a ½ inch of foam, and, you know, it's got to be killing their back. I mean, you go for a ride in this thing, and eventually, you know, the fun is going to wear off because your back is killing you. So I made sure I had really comfortable seats and everything, so it'd be a pleasure to drive, you know what I mean? And that's when you're going to keep it the longest and drive it the most and have the most fun out of it. Alright, so that's what I got so far. And I'm sure there'll probably be a couple more videos before this hood deal is done. But it's getting there. Cool.